Hello, Chill Computer Guy. Today we're here in the studio. We are talking about project files. Now, project files you can have a lot of them. Now, I have a lot of them, and something happens with me as far as time management. You only have a certain amount of hours in the day, and you only have a certain amount of hours to work on music, minus work and the normal chores and the normal daily activities of life. Let's say you have a 2-hour block every day to work on music, which is actually pretty generous. I don't quite have a 2-hour block, but I'm working up to it. Which project do you work on? Now, sometimes if I'm not feeling inspired, what I'll do is open up old projects and I'll go through them and I'll be like, this is some really good material. But the next thing you know, you start stripping all the EQ and compression, you start messing with the arrangement, and then you end up with a project that's so far from the original file that you end up saving _ALT or an alteration of a project. Thus, you have a folder with not just one project, but 2 projects in it. And also when I start arranging, and sometimes when I do the master, so I may have 4 to 5 alterations of one project. So now, next thing you know, you got 85 projects, none of them are finished, and you're really trying to, with your time management issues, figure out which project to focus your attention on. There's the concept of wait, let's just put them all away. Let's put them all into an archive folder and start a brand new project, because I've learned a lot since a lot of these projects, some of them are a year old, and I've learned a lot since then. And so going back and fixing old projects takes a lot of time that you could be using focusing on new ideas and new projects. But it all comes down to inspiration. What I find myself doing is getting inspired, starting on a new project and feeling very, very excited about the direction that project's going, and then never finding the time to either get back to it, or when I do get back to it, I can't find that same level of inspiration. Next thing you know, I'm opening old projects, working on those, creating alterations, and it's just like this vicious cycle where projects don't really get finished. Now, for me, it's really hard to chill and think and to really be inspired and work on a project when I'm put into this little cubicle of time. Like, all right, you got an hour, start, go now, It's very difficult for me. I need to get into the relaxed state, the vibe with a track, and then by the time I've picked out my sounds and started getting excited about some basic, MIDI placement and whatnot, the alarm goes off and it's time to go to work or something, and then it's hard to get back to it. So, pain in the ass, but it's something everybody goes through, most people. I mean, if you're lucky enough to just produce full-time, or if you're a product of rich relatives or parents, and, if you're blessed enough not to have to do the 9 to 5, 8 to 10 hour daily grind, then God bless you, and I bet you're creating wonderful music. Or maybe you're as frustrating or as messed up and lost with thousands of, maybe you have more project files, I don't know. But anyway, yeah, let me know, comment, let me know what you guys do as far as projects, finishing them, getting them done, focusing on the best projects as opposed to projects that are just kind of half-assed, because I keep going through, I've done this 2 or 3 times, gone through all my project files and put them into like a 5-star, 4-star, 3-star category, and then all the 3 and half the 4 stars I put into archives. I'm not going to even touch them. I might as well delete them because they're subpar. But then the 5-star projects folder is growing and growing, and I get excited. I'm going to put together an album. I'm going to take the best 12 tracks. Again, it's time. It's time management. How do you guys deal with it? How do you guys deal with inspiration flops? How do you guys deal with writer's block? I don't really think I have writer's block as much as any writer's block I try to cure by opening up old projects and working on those. But sometimes opening an old project and getting into that mastering stage, I'm not motivated to do that. I'd rather work on a brand new blank slate and start a new song. So, I don't know. You gotta wear your hands at all those things. Anyway, Chill Computer Guy. It's a good talk. This week we're just doing the chat. We're just chit-chatting around. All right, we'll do some more chit-chats. Reason 9.5 is coming out in a week or two. So, another thing that I recommend, and this is just me personally, is the DAWs. People are arguing which is the best DAW. Well, that's very dependent on your musical style and what you're into. What I find that cures inspirational problems or writer's block is to have, in my case, 2 DAWs and just jump between the 2. Mine happens to be Bitwig Studio and Propellerhead Reason. Both of those I know like the back of my hand. And I like to, if I'm not feeling inspired, if I'm working in Bitwig and I can't get an inspiration in Bitwig, then I'll jump over to Propellerhead Reason, and all of a sudden I have this new flux of inspiration. Or if I'm working in Propellerhead Reason and I'm not feeling inspired, I'll flip on over to Bitwig and feel this new level of inspiration. So I recommend hopping back and forth, trying them both. It's very, very personal. There's no best digital audio workstation. There's just no best. It's just very specific to whatever type of music you do, whatever type of inspiration, whatever DAW inspires you. When you open it, you start to get excited, and that's very, very individual based on the person there. All right, please, if you haven't already, please subscribe, comment below. I want to get kind of a dialogue going. How do you deal with tons and tons of unfinished project files? How do you deal with writer's block, with not feeling inspired? How do you deal with having little blocks of time to work on music? How do you deal with that? How do you personally get back into that vibe that you left off on before you had to go and do life's little grind there? How do you do it? Let me know below in the comments. And if you haven't already, please subscribe, and we'll see you guys next week. Thanks.